Hello, checking audio. Okay, hello, welcome to another Monday night stream. A little bit late, I had some technical issues. I'm not going to be streaming what I thought I was going to be streaming, um, but this is good too. So, um, if I get rid of that window, I can get started. So I'm just going to jump straight into it because I'm a bit late. Yeah, I've got to find. I haven't quite done what I need to do to set this up, so bear with me just a moment. Also, my computer seems to be recovering from those technical issues. Basically, I was trying something and it crashed. iClone and slowed my computer to a crawl, so it took a while before it could recover enough to even to start the stream. Right, okay. Let's set to that. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I'm sure some of you will remember that I worked on the Droid collar for R2. Well, it's now time to bring that into iClone. So that's what we're going to start with now. I've got these different objects down on the right side here. Now, I know the latest version of iClone doesn't really need 3D exchange. I still prefer to use it because there's something about it that makes importing objects, it gives you a little bit more control than just importing it directly into iClone, which is what they prefer now. So I guess you could say I'm going to be rebelling a little bit. So first we're going to get rid of, we're not really getting rid of, just making it visible because we don't need it. The template Droid color and the R2, the rough R2 model that I was using for reference. I'm bring it in properly. We'll put it on the actual R2 model to make sure it fits properly, and adjust it if it needs it. There we go. So for some reason PNG files get imported with transparency. I do not know why. But as you can see on this side, it's still got the transparency, whereas this is the solid one. So let's get rid of the transparency settings. Also the blue button there. There we go. Alright, so now we've got these rough edges. We're going to smooth those out. Let's start with this one because it's more visible. So you go to normal, weld vertex, and auto smooth. There we go. Do the same for the other side. You can see over there, it's smoothed out. So it's now nice and round. So what we're going to do is we're going to import this into iClone with several other pieces. Obviously it's not textured yet, that's something we'll do in a minute. But yeah, we're going to import this into iClone first before doing any texture work in pieces, because it makes it easier to animate that way. So export geometry. Doesn't need to go in Star Wars ships, it needs to go into Star Wars props. Droid color right, because it's the right side of it. And we'll do the same thing with the left side. Call it left. Just realised I made a mistake with the export options on the right side, so we'll have to do that again. That's not a problem. Just quickly redo that. And go around the front. Export the two buttons. This is the red one. Just realised, as usual, you can't see the options showing up. Berserker Thrawn, I do remember you've got a new job now, which makes it difficult for you to watch, so you are missed. But of course, you can watch the stream afterwards on the channel when you're able to. And Floopy, hello! It's good to see you. So I'm just going to save the blue button. Okay, that's done. Switch over to iClone. Gonna close that. Robotic Pope, hello and welcome. Right, so we're going to bring in the droid collar. It's in 4 different pieces, so we have to bring it in 4 pieces. I'm realising again, as I mentioned just now, you can't see the menu dialog showing up. So I'm going through it as quickly as possible. There we go. Now let's see which side is the one with the hinge. Okay, of course it would be that one. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is move these buttons up onto the little control panel there. It's actually not the first thing we're going to do. First is going to center the pivot point of the buttons, because it makes it easier to move them. Robotic Pope, this is the droid collar that's used to keep R2 in place. So a few weeks ago I modelled it on stream, so now I'm bringing it into iClone so it can be used with the scene itself. So the first thing is to do is to well, the first thing I had to do was convert it into a format that iClone understands, which I just did. Now it's in iClone itself, so what we're doing is piecing the parts together so it can be animated. So now we have one complete object that's made up of 4 parts. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Now to texture it. Actually the left side doesn't quite line up with the right side. So let's zoom in and see what we can do about that. Yeah, if you see that the left side is slightly lower than the right. So let's raise it up. That's about right. Yeah, that was easy. Should have said that before we jinx the next thing. Okay, the next thing to do is to put some textures on it. Let's see what we've got. iClone comes with this very useful tool for texturing called Substance. And basically, you're choosing the material that the object's made out of, and it lets you play around the settings so that you can get the colours and the detail the way you want it to look. I'm going to try a plastic look first. And if that doesn't work, we'll go something metal. So I just dragged the blue texture onto there, which has done nothing. Which is not the start I was hoping. Oh. There we go. Had the wrong graphic setting on the so you couldn't see it. Alright, so we've got a blue colour. I don't think it needs to be blue, but that's the basic. That's the default colour for this particular material. So if we go down to here, so plastic colour. We'll go for a dark grey. Actually, let's cancel the dark grey for a second. And let's see what happens if I bring in the droid. Has anyone seen the Ant-Man trailer yet? Yep, I watched it not long after it dropped. Looks rather good. Huh. So the collar is tiny compared to R2. Okay, so let's straighten up R2. See. Evan and JT Crusader, good to see you both. Just straightening him out. Looks about right. Ignore the middle leg, doesn't really matter for what we're doing tonight. Let's make it an actual 25 degrees. There we go. So it's a piece of technology that they use for, well, cards people use to keep droids under control. Basically hold them prisoner. It's described as a control color. So what I imagined is it fits around the droid like this. So, well, hang on, I've got to fix that a little bit. The droids can't tilt and move, but also blocks all of the hatches, so none of the tools can come out that can otherwise be used to escape. Captain Spire, hello. Thank you. Happy Halloween, and thank you for being vigilant in your work on the project. Would you like to guest on a YouTube live stream if you could? Not mine. I'm always happy to talk about the project. Whose live stream are you thinking? So let's say it goes about there. And next we're going to go back to the colours. I don't think it needs to be blue. As I mentioned before, it's the default colour. But I wanted R2 in place so we can get an idea of how it looks. Like say Echo Based Network or maybe Stone Cold Loki. I don't know who Stone Cold Loki is, but I believe I've talked to Echo Based Network before. We're actually working on Luke and R2's breakout scene. Yes. Let's put a little bit of dirt on it because it's probably going to be. It's not a new piece of technology. They're going to have used it for a while, and they are smugglers. It's not going to be kept necessarily in pristine condition. It's a little bit too shiny for my liking. Try yellow. That's a good idea. Now, this isn't exactly yellow. This is more of a sandy colour, so Anakin would hate it. That kind of works, but let's go for a brighter yellow just to increase the. Let's drift it over to the green. Yeah. Robotic Pope, I think the yellow was a good idea. Let's just get the right shade of it. There we go. Kind of like a parking clamp or some kind of construction tool. Just consider if I always imagine it being dark green. Well, he's kept the droids locked up in the shed, so no one's gonna see it in there. But let's try it. I do like the yellow, but we've had a suggestion for dark green, so we're going to try them both and see. I think I prefer the yellow. It's kind of got that industrial look to it. I'm sure there's a better name for it. But you know, certain pieces of industrial equipment are this shade of yellow as to make them noticeable, I guess. It makes it look old and not used for a while, which I think if it's card, he wouldn't use colours if it would blend in with the forest if card wants the droid moved. Thank you for the work. That's right on, good description. Well, Joe Blow, thank you for your compliments. Yeah, we're going to go with the yellow. Alright, so let me just... Nope. Just adjusting the settings a little bit. Just to get it right. Yep. There are a few issues here with the texture. That is easy to fix once it's done. So there's the next process here is called baking it. So you put in the settings and you bake it, so all those settings are saved as an actual image file, or several image files, because there's all these different types of textures for the effects, like not just the color but also doesn't really show up on the color because it's flat, but like on the R2, all these scratches are a texture to add extra detail. So yeah, that's baked in. Let's put it on the other side. So it's a simple matter of clicking the paint material and clicking there. Now, as you can see, there are some issues here where the texture it's not wrapped around the model perfectly, but fortunately there is an option to do that, and I believe this is the one we want. There we go. Not quite. Let's try some of the settings. That didn't quite work. Nope. Can you do black diagonal stripes on the yellow? I can add them to the texture manually, but that wasn't an option on this particular material. For the moment, I'm just mostly concerned getting the actual thing done like this. That looks pretty good. Yeah, we're going to go with that setting because it's hidden some of the lines that were showing up. And look, you can see there's lots of dirt on here. I really like the look of that. Now, of course, there is a line here, but that makes sense because that's where the collar opens. Yeah. Obviously, I do need to stretch out this bit a little bit. We'll come back to that once we've finished texturing the whole lot. Alright, so next up is this little control panel. This is going to be grey because it makes it stand out against the yellow. So let's bring it up again. I'm going to use the same material for the button. Not the button, the panel. But I'm going to make it grey. So let's go with that. Needs to be dark grey, not quite that dark. Yeah, that will do. Smooth it out. Add some dirt because this is also going to be dirty. I think that works. Can't see the dirt so much, but it, you know, it is there. You plan to have the buttons glow? Yep. That's going to be the last thing I do. Oh, an old yellow steering wheel lock. Yeah, that's it. Or one of those. I don't know if you get them where you live, but here in the UK, they put clamps on car wheels if the car's parked somewhere that it's not supposed to, and it's bright yellow, and the car can't drive when it's got the clamp on. And they can't be removed either without the proper equipment. Like a boot. What do you mean, Floopy? Right, button. There you go, it glows. Basically what I'm going to do is, for ease of use, I'm going to make them both glow at the moment. But when I actually animate the scene, I'll have it flick between one and the other. That's what we call them. The yellow thing you put on the wheels of a car so it can't move. Okay. Here they're called car clamps. Because they clamp onto the wheel and then it can't drive. Yeah. Okay. Let's resize this a little bit. Bring it into about there, so it's roughly the middle. And then I can just no, that's not going to work. I think what we're going to have to do is just pretend that that fits perfectly. And when you look at it from the front, you can't see that there's any problem there. You guys will know, but just don't tell anyone. Okay, almost there. So we've got these pivot points. What I actually want is the pivot point to be I'm pressing the button for different pivot points. One I want is there. Back in the middle. Let's put it right in the middle. Okay. Why have you locked the steering wheel? The idea is you put this bar across the steering wheel to lock it, so if anyone breaks into the car, they can't drive off with it because it's impossible to drive. I'm excited to see how Ghent will look animated. Me too. I don't have all the dialogue for the rest of that scene yet, so I haven't got started on it. But I'm really pleased with the Ghent character model. I can't wait to bring him to life. Right, so we've done the right side. we've got to do the pivot point for the left side. This is so that when it opens from this hinge and not from in the middle. Let's give that a try, shall we? There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let me save it. Bear with me a second. Yeah. So a quick drink of water, and then we'll get on to the next bit. In fact, I should have probably loaded up the next bit first, but then had a drink of water. Never mind. This may take a minute or two. It's currently loading up. Yeah, I'd actually forgotten about those steering wheel clamps, locks. They used to be very common, but now I'm thinking about it, I don't remember the last time I saw one. I wonder if there was some kind of invention that made them ineffective. I don't know. But oftentimes you see cars parked and they have them. You could see them through the windows. Oh, excuse me. I'm very sleepy tonight. I might not stream this for a full hour like I normally do. But I do want to get this clamp into the actual scene first. Depending on how long it takes to load. It's currently at 38%. Not the most exciting thing to look at. I mean, I guess you can't see the loading progress bar, it's kind of right here. But I guess you do get to see R2 behind it, so that's always a good thing. So I hope everyone is doing well while we're waiting for the loading. Yeah, it's still at 38%. Hang on, just a bit more water. Oh, I know what the problem is. To see what we're doing here, I put the graphical quality up to high, and of course there's a lot to load in the scene, so and having it on high means there's even more to load than it normally would have, so that's why it's so slow. Electronic system is made steering wheel locks. Okay, that makes sense. I see a big yellow rabbit giving R2 a hug, and I can't see it. I see what you mean. It's the two little prongs here. Well, the idea is I wanted to make sure that any of his access hatches would be blocked. Because obviously he could use his little saw to cut his way out of the lock if his hatches could open. But by having those little ears there, his hatch won't get very far if he tries to open it. It's still at 38%, so I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully it will actually load at some point. Oh, it's gone up to 39%. It's going to go well. Oh, this is good. I'm so tired today. So yeah, the more I yawn, the more I'm thinking, once this colour's in the scene, I'm going to end the stream. You're a good man, I love the design. Well, thank you. It was done on one of the previous streams a few weeks ago. So it's nice to be able to show you guys how it went from that to how it looks now. And of course, once it's rendered in Omniverse, I'm sure it'll look even better. %, it's jumped up a lot. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me bring that in. Yeah, I should bring that in. There we go. So what I'm going to do is attach it to R2's body. It's obviously it is attached, but this particular kind of attached is a specific function to link the two objects together. Don't you just love progress percent watching? Yeah, I could make a whole stream of that. Actually, I did. When I streamed some of the overnight renders, you know, the kind that take 12 hours or so, and I thought, well, why not? So the whole purpose in a lot of these streams is to show the work that goes into it, and that was some of the work. There we go. Stay on target. Yeah. Well, that's the plan. Obviously it's a little bit lower than when we were doing it, so let's raise it up to there. And I am pleased. Alright, I think that's a good ending point for the stream, as I have been yawning quite a bit. I don't want to fall asleep on the stream. And of course, yeah, this is a natural place to stop, so I'm glad you like it. I'm glad. Thank you for your input on the colours. It's one of the fun things about designing stuff on here is getting your feedback on things like that. And I think it looks good. So Captain Spire, thank you again for the super chat. That's going to go towards helping with the film. Yeah, so you better save this. Make sure it's saved. %. And done. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. It wasn't necessarily the most exciting thing, but I enjoyed your company. I'm just trying to think about anything else I can say at the moment. Not really, just carrying on working on upcoming chapters. So yeah, may the Tron be with you, and I will see you all next time. Take care.